Well, it is that time again. It's Javi's World monthly tutorial. Today we're going to do a continuation from last month and have some fun with watercolors. Stay tuned. You will need a pencil drawing, watercolor paper to transfer, art masking fluid, watercolor paints, and brushes. Next, you take your drawing, flip it over, cover the back of the drawing with a number 2 pencil completely. Then you're going to fix the paper onto your watercolor paper. Use a pencil or a ballpoint pen and trace the lines to get the transfer onto the watercolor paper. It will look like this when you're finished. Next, you take the art masking fluid. Be very careful with this. It's very strong and can be very strong smell. You're going to pour a little out. Wet your brush. It's very hard to see on the video, but what I'm going to do with the art masking fluid is basically just outline all of my pencil lines for this particular drawing. This will keep the watercolor paint from painting any areas that I mask off with the fluid. That means that when I let the paint run, it will go everywhere except for the lines. And here's what the drawing looks like once we've applied the masking fluid. I'll let that dry, and we're going to set up our paints. I use Marie's watercolor paints, and I use an old mirror. Basically, I just take the tubes, it's got dry paint on there. I use a little water to reactivate the paint. Once the masking fluid's dry, I'm going to take a large paintbrush, load it up with a bunch of water. Take that paintbrush and wet my paper in all of the areas that I would like the color to be, so that when I pick up the watercolor paint and touch it to the paper, it will spread across the wet areas of the paper. So I'm just going to go around their faces here, anywhere that I want this beginning color to start. And I'm going to pick up whatever color I like and go around the areas where I've wet the paper and allow that paint just to run with the water. So I'm going to make sure I got my paintbrush nice and wet with color, wet with water, fill it up, and then kind of just let it run. Add more water as needed. And just allow the colors to stretch across the paper in different ways. Take on different shapes. Remember to have fun with this. There we go. Next comes the creative part. Take any of your paints and just paint your drawing. Any way that you like. It doesn't have to be any particular way. Be creative. Here are some of my current watercolor paintings I'm working on, and they were all done using the exact same method to transfer the drawing in watercolor paint. When you are satisfied with the painting that you have using the masking fluid, the next step is to remove the masking fluid. Wait until your painting is dry. Find the masking fluid, give it a little tug, and simply pull it off of the watercolor paper. You're going to do that with whatever paper you would like, or whatever masking fluid needs to be removed. And you just gently give it a tug, and it'll lift right up. For the final touches for your drawings, you kind of just have to go with whatever feels right for you. All 3 of these drawings I will be finishing with variations of colored pencils, pens, paints, and these are some end results of watercolors that I've done in the past. All using the same method, same technique, just all different. So try what you can come up with. Have a lot of fun, and we'll see you next month in Javi's World.